So there is a spider the size of Japan wandering around somewhere in this room. I lost track of it. Bad news for me. Horrible news. But that's only half as scary as what we're going to be reviewing today, which is pickup artists on TikTok.
You have a very feisty, adorable look about you.
Well, I appreciate it, but if
You're
you
welcome.
don't mind.
How do you guys all know each other?
I'm sorry, but we really.
I'm really not trying to be like rude or anything. I actually just got up the courage to like talk to girls. I was talking to my therapist for a long time. You guys are the first girls I talked to. Now it'll be like years until I get up the courage to talk to girls anymore. Can't believe you did that to me.
The phrase pickup artist is already giving them way too much credit, but that's what they call themselves. That is when they're not calling themselves alpha males, which is hilarious.
Never be a beta. Just never ever do it. It is death. Never ever.
Especially since the guy that observed and came up with the alpha male concept observed in wolves went back and realized actually that's not a thing. Not a thing in wolves, not a thing in humans. The leaders of the pack are just the parents. Before we start, make sure you subscribe and turn the bell on. I give shout outs at the end of every video to people who become members of my channel. You can press the join button below or the link in my description. I also have a clothing brand called Rip Supply Co. We've got a bunch of cool stuff that may tickle your fancy, but we're having a sale on our sunnies at the moment. You can get 30% off with the code SUN30 for the next 48 hours only. It's warming up, they're perfect for summer. And also before we start, thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video, but I'll get back to that in a second. So I want to start the video off at what will hopefully be rock bottom. So you never know, you really never know. So we've covered straight TikTok in quite some depth. We haven't covered this section of TikTok, which is male pickup artists. I still can't say it with a straight face. Relationship coaches, almost equally as funny based on who it is that is giving the advice. You'll see. Just generally men who have no business giving anyone advice on relationships, telling other predominantly young men what women want and what women think, as if they could possibly know. So we're gonna dive into that because it is a dumpster fire. We might regret this.
When a girl tells you, hey, let's rain check or reschedule, you simply respond, hey, that's cool, but I'm not really a fan of flaky girls. If we go out, you're going to pay for drinks or dinner or whatever plan you guys had.
So far, it's dickhead vibes, right? Not someone you'd give the time of day to, but it's at this point where it gets a little bit...
With women, when they give you undesirable behavior, you need to punish it immediately so she knows it's not acceptable. Don't reinforce bad behavior with positive treatment, okay?
Oh, ooh. Yeah, so step number one, according to this guy, if you want women to like you, then you need to approach them the same way you would approach training a dog. For any young men or old men watching this, don't fucking do that. Doesn't work. It's not gonna get you the desired response. This is literally the same mentality you have when training a dog. Yeah, which is why these men are usually the ones on TikTok trying to get attention from young boys by coaching them to be toxic and unhealthy and unhappy under the guise of relationship advice. So that's where we're at.
Fellas, never make
I know it just started. Why do we always have to, why is it always fellas, kings, alpha bros?
a mistake when you're talking to a girl you just met. Don't believe me? Fellas, let's talk.
Say fellas one more time.
I'm gonna need you to talk to this girl like you're the boss and she's the employee. I know. Think about it, King. When your boss
There it is! Like clockwork. Hey, king.
When your boss comes into your job, does he say, hey, can you pick that up over there? Hell no. That boss says, hey, you pick that up, let's go.
I gotta stop there because it's almost as if there is a significant difference between the dynamics between two people in a relationship where you're supposed to be like equal on the same page, looking out for each other, looking after each other, want the best for each other, and an employee-boss relationship where one person is trying to use the other person to maximize profits. Call me crazy, but it's almost as if there is some stark difference between the two. And on that note, I'm gonna take a little breather for the sponsor of this video, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN which encrypts your online internet activity. This means you can browse privately so no one can track or steal your data. You can hide your location by changing your IP address so it looks like you're coming from another country. And that feature can also be used to access overseas streaming libraries like on Netflix. Aussie Netflix can be quite limited, so you can use it to access the UK Netflix or the US Netflix or a lot of other streaming services as well. Their clean web feature blocks ads and malware. It's also available on your phone. You can keep your searches private, and if you're using things like public Wi-Fi, which is not super secure and is quite easily hacked, or just any network you don't trust, you can use your VPN so you stay safe. And if you use my code Brianne at checkout, you can get 83% off as well as 4 months for free on top of that. That's for a limited time only, so make sure you do it soon. And thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Let's jump back into the stress.
Fellas, let's talk. Think of men as the hunter and the woman as the deer.
What? I'm just gonna stop it right there. I can't. We don't need to minimize human relationships into, well, what if one's a key and the other's a lock? What if this one's a hunter and that's a deer? Like, you don't, if you need to simplify very complex human dynamics into these minimalist analogies that conveniently always place men in power. If your whole argument needs to lean on metaphors that aren't based on real life, you don't have an argument in reality. One thing that I have noticed in all of these videos that have been sent in is a pretty common theme of insecurity in these men that is very thinly masked with like bravado and the need to overcompensate. And it's that insecurity paired with an even bigger need to control women. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but I do have fucking eyes. So when someone with a pretty low emotional intelligence or just an inability to handle their emotions is made insecure by something, their typical reaction to that is to try and control the variables that come with that insecurity. This is very, very fundamental, basic shit. You see it a lot in primary school bullying and kids bullying each other. And the thing that is repeated all the time is like if someone is bullying you, they're jealous of you, right? Or you make them insecure in some way. Or the person doing the bullying is deeply, deeply insecure and for whatever reason they're taking it out on someone that is a catalyst for that insecurity. So what is the obvious conclusion with dudes like this who dedicate their entire lives to trying to control women and are also scrambling to try and put themselves on a pedestal for like younger, inexperienced teenage boys to look up to? What's obviously the underlying theme for most of these videos is that these men are insecure, either about their place in society or about women or about whether or not women want them, whatever it is. And in response to that, they do all these weird little microaggressions or just straight up aggressions to try and control women instead of dealing with the fact that they themselves feel insecure and unworthy. Like it is the most obvious thing in the world to everyone but them. Just fucking chill out.
Stop giving women free attention. Women
gonna ignore the fact that all attention is free, but we're not gonna nitpick.
Women need attention like they need water, and they can't go a day without it. They would do whatever they have to do in order to get it.
Hold on. So you're meaning to tell me that women everywhere, all over the globe, there are whole movements based on women begging to be left alone, specifically by men. Like the basis for pretty much all movements led by women about women is that we would like men to leave us alone. Like if you can't just hands off. Don't catcall us in the street. Don't bother us when we've got headphones in. Don't come up to us in public. Don't be weird. Just leave us alone. So if that's the obvious facts of the reality we live in, how does this argument fit in with that exactly?
Therefore, this means just because a girl is messaging you on social media doesn't mean she's actually into you. The fastest way to—
Yeah, I honestly would agree with that. Anyone messaging anyone on social media doesn't mean you're sexually attracted to them. Why would it? Why would it? There are so many other reasons why someone might be messaging a person that don't have anything to do with that.
That's why it's important to start prioritizing your time and stop wasting it on girls who aren't even interested in you. If you don't—
Yes, that we can agree on. Don't continue wasting time on people that are not interested in you. Leave them alone when there is disinterest. That is so fucking simple.
Come over here.
What is low status behavior?
No, you. Come over here. Okay, pop over.
First of all, I'm sorry. Not to judge a book by its cover, but we're taking advice from this guy.
He's looking at the ground already. He's tense. Can you see how tense he looks right now? Okay.
Oh.
So, okay, say hello to the audience. Hello. Okay, so his voice can't—
Oh my god, this is... I'm gonna assume that they're at some kind of pickup artist seminar because that's usually what this shit is. He's called up like a pretty nervous looking, young looking dude and he's outright baited him into this. Someone calls you, if you've gone to like some kind of a seminar and someone calls you up in front of a crowd you haven't prepared for and has turned around and been like, see how nervous he is? This guy's so nervous. Like most people would be nervous in that scenario.
He's tense. Can you see how tense he looks right
normal.
Now? Okay, say hello to the audience. Hello.
So he's literally just like paused, scoped him out, been like, what can we pick apart? The dude says hello in such a normal manner and I'm guessing he's about to pick that apart too.
Say hello to the audience. Hello. Okay, so his voice can't project. And by the way, I hate to say it.
Why are they clapping? This kind of just feels like this poor kid has probably paid to come here to be bullied. You couldn't even call this like constructive criticism. He's like really at him and being like, you can't project your voice. Not, well, you're speaking a bit soft, maybe speak a bit louder. Like it's not even helpful.
I'd make him so uncomfortable.
I think he is.
That he'd move into a higher status behavior because he goes for safety. He's trying to hide at the center of the tribe. So if I make your life completely miserable, and then I re-anchor that to when you actually are better, because this little low status thing is hiding. You're hiding. What are you hiding from?
Bro, how is this meant to help people? I don't think he's high status anything. This is just fucking weird. Also, who on earth is taking advice from this guy?
What are you hiding from?
Judging by how he walks and speaks and acts, and like he's not someone that you would ever look at and be like, yeah, that guy knows what he's talking about. What is this? I just love the hashtag Bible of misogyny, which is pretty much all of these. Fellas, there's with the fellas again. Here's what a list of things you're not allowed to do. Don't use emojis in every message. Your reply should be lesser than hers. She should be the last to text back, not you. Don't reveal too much about yourself. Leave her on red at times, because nothing says I'm in control and I'm the alpha male like overthinking to this extent. This is nuts. So much of this like pickup artist, male dating coach, weird brand of misogyny that is marketed as self-help. So much of it is just so deeply rooted in this rabid insecurity that they use all these little methods of like, oh, I need to do this and then this and maneuver it this way, and just way too much overthinking. I can guarantee what we're gonna call alpha men, again, does not exist in human psychology, but what these men look up to as alpha males, those types of men are not overthinking to this extent and walking on eggshells every day and making desperate attempts at getting control like this. Like, that is not happening. All of this just screams insecure attachment issues. What I don't think men like this understand is just how many options women have at the drop of a hat. Pretty much any woman on the face of the planet can download Tinder and have like hundreds of matches within a few hours. If you're doing all this weird insecure shit and like leaving them on red, not using emojis, not opening up or telling them anything about yourself, which is a very strange way to start out any kind of a relationship, mind you, while you're skulking around doing all this weird like pseudo manipulative shit, she's already looking at someone else who's not doing that. That is the reality of the situation. You don't need to do this.
When I'm at the gas station, this ain't no Christian mingle.
I love her accent.
This ain't no dating time. I'm in and out. Please don't.
Can we just, his face while she is speaking.
I'm in and out. Please don't. Just don't try to.
Number one fear of men, rejection. And
You can't start a video like this sounding like that. I'm sorry, my boy.
you're gonna make a video making fun of him for trying his best to show interest in you.
And asking to be left alone is not the same as ridicule. And it's very weird that this grown man is still taking it that way. Also, the number one thing that men fear in women may be rejection, but the number one thing that women fear in men is being killed. So I would assume, I'm just doing the math, this grown-ass men feeling rejected does not negate the fact that this woman wants to be left alone.
This ain't no Christian mingle. This ain't farmers only.
Christian mingle, berry farmers. So you're single and you wonder why. Because you keep rejecting every decent person to try to talk to you.
I think this is a little more personal than this random chick that he is stitching. I hope that when I say that there is this special brand of like weird insecurity, this is the face of that. This is exactly what I mean.
Can't talk to you. When you're at the bar drunk, you can't make a coherent sentence. So next time somebody tries to
Did he just incoherently say can't make a coherent sentence?
talk to you in the real world, not in the freaking cyberspace, say hello.
This man should be a comedian. That was excellent.
No, not to give you a hard time.
This guy
You know
again.
who hits on people? Betas. Okay? Betas do. You know what alphas do? They just
None of this. Nothing that this guy is doing is what alphas do. If someone's talking about alpha beta this, like they're not. They're not. You are not that guy, pal.
That's it. They're just like, they just win. They don't need to do it. It's just like, what's up? And then it's just on. It's on by
This
default.
is so painful.
So it's just like, hey. And then it's done. You know? So
This is so much worse than I thought it was gonna be. I can't say anything without it feeling like punching down at this point.
like, yeah, right? You know, like when your significant other comes to you and they're like, no, babe, they didn't hit on me, so it's okay. We're gonna hang out, right? You're like, it's over, right? You know what I'm saying, right? No, it's like if
What is this?
right? Because betas hit on people. Wait, sorry, no, not to give you a hard time.
Oh my god, I honestly don't even know what to make of this. We gotta move on.
If they tell you that they like you, but they're not looking or they're not ready for a relationship right now, they're playing you. The translation of this is very simple.
Yeah, it is very simple. The translation is exactly what was said. Someone can like you and also not want to be in a relationship with you. That is entirely possible and very common. Obviously, if someone is stringing you along for a long time and just doesn't want to commit and you do, like, cut it off, for sure. But it doesn't mean you're getting played.
Remember, kings,
The kings again. Why is it always the kings?
no matter how strong and independent, she will always seek
What
a
does he do?
stronger man to lead her.
Why, like, if men like this are so like strong and independent and powerful and confident and they're leaders, then why are they so needy and obsessed that they cannot imagine a world where women do not need to be led by them? Which is the world we live in, by the way. Like, if you are that insecure that you can't imagine a partnership with another person where they do not rely on you and where you can just both meet with your strengths and weaknesses from an equal point of view, like, if you're really that insecure, stay away from other people. Just do your thing, man. Thank you guys for watching. If you've watched this far, make sure you remember what you were going to say at the end of the video. Like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, become a member of my channel if you want to. Sunnies are on sale, link in the description, and don't be a dick.